Hey, everybody. Can you hear me? Is this thing on? I see we've got some folks on. I see Evelyn and Mary Lynn and Dawn. Hello. All right, so what we're going to do, we are live now. We are going to go over and see Gwen over at her station. I'm going to switch cameras. Our dear friend Mary Rose is going to be monitoring your comments and questions, and she will be shouting them across the room because I have to show you this, you guys. Just look at all the people. Look at all the people. It's just so fabulous to have so many people here. It's just amazing. So we are going to go over there with Miss Gwen. I will come back here and say, just hang with me for a second. We're going to walk across, and Mary will let us know if you have questions. So just post them in the chat. Hello. Okay, here we go. Oh. Do that. Oh, there's Darren. Can I sneak by? Here's Ani is over here. Woohoo! Ani. There's Darren. And here we have Miss Gwen Youngblood. There she is right there. Hey! The woman herself. All right. So I have no idea if this thing is working. Let's see. So I'm gonna give Gwen the whatever this is, the microphone, and we're gonna get started. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're up. You're on. Just click that to your. There you go.
Woohoo! Can you hear me?
People. Can you hear me now?
Hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
All right. So what are we gonna do?
Come on over to the rolling mill. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Got a piece of 24 gauge. I'm going to get a piece of foam and my pattern for these are little teeny tiny Christmas ornaments that you can use for tags on your Christmas packages.
Nice.
And make sure that I have this. I want to just close that top roller until I can feel a little bit of drag. I don't want to have to tug on it to get it out. I just want to feel.
Can you talk about, we're using an electric mill and we've taken the guide off, how important it is to be careful?
Yes. In a perfect world, I would have my hair tied back because I don't want my hair to fall into the rollers. We're using metal and a piece of machinery. You want to make sure that your eyes are protected. These are actually safety glasses. So make sure your eyes are protected. You only have one pair. And make sure that, you don't have long, billowy sleeves,
and
nothing.
Don't stick your fingers in the roller.
Yeah, and don't stick your fingers in there. It hurts. All right. Here's my pattern. So the order is pattern, metal, and your backing. We're using 24 gauge today, so I'm using foam. Once I get to about 20 gauge metal, I will use watercolor paper for my backing.
Pretty.
All right.
You can't hear me very well, just so you know.
So there you go. So I'm going to come over here. And through the magic of TV, I have one already cut out. I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and flat. And I was explaining to somebody before that when I hammer my stuff flat, I always make sure that the high part is up in the air and I'm hammering that down to my bench block. To prevent losing any of my pattern, I'm using my nylon mallet. You can use a rawhide, you can use a Delrin. I'm going to use my 3-hole punch. This little hole here at the top is a 1/8 inch hole, which is the largest punch on your 3-hole punch. You can absolutely use you can use a 1/8 inch drill bit. You can, somebody told me they even use the teeny tiny punch on their disc cutter. And now let's decorate this with some of my favorite. These are Pewter Spacers that I very cleverly taped up within an inch of their life.
Let me guess, that's because they've opened up on you in the past?
Yeah. And it usually results in very bad words. So let's do some of these. There's a little. Now, y'all, these are actually bead caps. And you flatten them. So when you're at a show and you see that dealer that has the bags of pewter,
Mary lives in Austin. John.
Anything with a hole or that you can put a hole in is fair game.
I love that.
I'm just going to use 16 gauge wire. My favorite cutters. I'm going to make sure that that end is nice and flush. I'm going to see, I'll need to work on these holes. I'll show you how to enlarge them the easy way. I'm going to switch to my 4-hole punch. I'm using 16 gauge wire for my rivet, so I'm going to use the 16 gauge punch. I'm going to hold this in my cross-locking tweezers, and I'm going to use that punch right in the middle of that daisy spacer, just to ream out that hole. And you'll see that. You can also, if you've got slipped, I'm going to use, so you can use that, or I don't have my diamond file.
I have a diamond file. There you go.
So we'll just use the regular old file. Sometimes these have a little bit of coating on them, and it kind of collects in that hole. You know, they use some kind of weird coating to make them look antique. So now my 16 gauge wire slips through there. So I have all these little stars on here, and I'm just going to put a little daisy spacer on top of one of those stars. 16 gauge hole. So when you're riveting, all the holes and all the diameter of the wire have to match. And this particular tool solves the problem of the wire. The wire people did not talk to the drill bit people, and vice versa. All right.
And that's for what gauge wire?
16 gauge wire. So I have the
people. We have people. Say hi, people. Hi, people. We have people actually watching. Woo-hoo!
so I have my rivet gauges from the Riveting Essentials Toolkit, and there are 6 of these. There's 2 for 18 gauge, 2 for 16, 2 for 14. And that has to do, the numbers match the gauge of the wire that you're using. And I'm going to put one down on my bench block, put my piece on top, put my little daisy spacer, line it all up. Make sure the flush end of that wire is right against the bench block. I'm going to put the second number 16 on the front. And I'm going to flush cut right on top of that.
It takes all the guesswork out of it, doesn't it?
And when I remove that spacer, I've got the perfect little stub of wire. Okay, y'all, I learned to rivet with my chasing hammer, so that's what y'all are going to learn. You got to be brave. Get your fingers in there, because we're just tapping. We're going to tap down a few times, and you'll see that wire spread out. If you've ever tried to rivet before and the wire disappeared into the hole, well, that's because it was too short. If all it did was turn over too long, this is just right. It is the Goldilocks of riveting. And you notice I just tapped. I didn't have to whale on it. Take second one off. There's my remaining little stub of wire.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Woohoo!
Look how cute. Look how cute that is. Gwen is a rock star.
Woohoo!
Rock star. That's adorbs. Let's do one more.
I'm going to do a tube rivet.
Oh, that sounds
because that's a real sharp metal edge in there. And if you want to put a ribbon through there,
right.
Let's do a tube rivet. Thank you. I cheat.
You cheat.
These are 3mm by 3mm crimp tubes, copper crimp tubes. Yeah. I cheat.
That's awesome sauce.
3mm by 3mm. You can get them in copper. You can get them in sterling silver.
They love the kit. They love your kit.
Yay. All right.
So tell them what hole that's the 1/8.
That's the 1/8. 3 millimeters is just about 1/8 of an inch. You may have to enlarge the hole a little bit, but you know how to do that with your round file. So 3 millimeters is about 1/8 of an inch.
Okay.
When I'm doing tube rivets, I don't care about the diameter of the tube. I just want to make sure that I have enough metal to fold over and make that real pretty donut around the hole. Mr. Number 14 is the perfect amount of tubing if you're doing a tube rivet. And I need to put him. And from the scrapbooking aisle at your favorite hobby store, an Eyelet Setter. I prefer this one that has a tapered point on it because I don't have to figure out, am I using 1/16? Am I using 1/8? It fits everything. I just want to gently flare that top of that tube. So I'm going to tap. I'm not wailing. I'm not beating the snot out of it. I'm just tapping. And it just needs to flare a little bit. I'm going to do that a little bit more. There we go. So I've told the metal what I want it to do, where I want it to go. I'm going to continue to do that with my hammer. It's going to be a glancing blow, and I'm going to tell the metal where I want it to go. I'm going to tap down just a few times, and then I'm going to start telling the metal where I want it to go. Work my way around. I'm going to get rid of my rivet gauge. All right. So now we're going to have to tap this a little bit harder because that end has been sitting on my bench block and has gotten hardened a little bit. And again, I'm going to tell the metal where I want it to go. And if we need to flatten that out a little bit, we know how to do that.
Look how cool is that? Woohoo! Gwen is a rock star. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You're getting lots of love and comments over here. Lots of love and comments. So Gwen will be back. Here, wait, I'm taking. We have to share the microphone. I have no idea if I'm even on. But we will be back. Gwen will be back on later. Watch for our schedule. We will get there. Bye. Bye. Okay, guys. So as we walk across the room, here we are. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are having so much fun. I can't even tell you. Look, if I sit down, you can't even see me. I'll do this. So stay tuned. We did not get a schedule posted. I'm so sorry. There are a million people here, which is a wonderful problem to have. I think next up is going to be our friend Chris Anderson, and I have no idea what he's going to do. We'll talk about that. So watch for our notification, and then we'll be bringing Kate back for the rest of her project. I see people there. Where do you get the tube rivets? Gwen? Hey, Gwen. Tapper. People are asking where they can get the tube rivets. Tube rivets. My guess is I'll bet that Kate Richburg has them on her website. We'll find out for you. We will find out for you and let you know. Bead stores, generally speaking, have tube rivets of those kinds. You want the 3x3, right? The 3x3, 3x3, and we will find that out for you. Okay? Any other questions? I see. All right. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.